Well, we just got done watching a movie called The Devil at 4 o'clock. Now, I know what you're thinking. We don't like the devil, we don't like to talk about the devil, but this movie was really not about the devil at all. It was about a priest and his soul search. A priest who was very faithful, very strong in his conviction, dedicated his life for the children. And throughout his path, through his career as a priest, he lost his faith because the people in the island where he built the hospital for the lepers all abandoned him because, lepers, that's bad for tourism. We don't want you here with your hospital for leper children. And he had a very hard time, even though he was a priest, and he lost his faith until one day, he was supposed to resign. A young priest came to take his place, and on that same plane came 3 convicts who were in transport to a prison. And well, that island has a volcano, and that changed everything. It changed everything because now there was purpose. Now there was danger. Now there was something greater for every man to find within himself for the good of someone else. To save a life. To help. To self-sacrifice for someone else. And you see that really play out in every area of life, wherever you are. The seek and the need for purpose. We are not dogs who just eat, sleep, breathe, drink, and fool around and be satisfied. We need more than that. And when you look at society in general today, the mental illness, the depression, the anxiety, it's at an all-time high because of a lack of purpose. Look at the men of World War II. We often talk about the white men, the American men, 1940s. The greatest generation of the United States. They had purpose. They were going down, storming Normandy, doing all this amazing thing, beating back the Nazis to save the Jews, to save Europe, to save the world. And they were the most fulfilled, most purposeful people. They weren't all depressed about their life. They weren't all strung up on drugs, losing their minds. It's the people today that have no purpose. Everything's been done, every hill has been conquered. You have technology to do everything for you. So, what are you supposed to do? You just sit there and eat your bonbons and watch your Netflix and get drunk and get high and go from one party to another. And your soul is dying inside of you. My people perish for lack of purpose. And what greater purpose than to lay down your life for your friends?
Because when you fulfill yourself at your Tibetan mountain, your hash smoking, weed smoking, Himalayan excursion, mantras and chantings on top of a cliff in a valley, to what? Fulfill yourself in a hot sauna, hot box. It's all very selfish. It's all very selfish. In the gym, it's all very selfish to fulfill you. The concerts, the desert festivals, it's all very selfish. So you're trying to replace purpose with fulfillment. Just what makes you feel good. There are people that are very much focused on what makes them feel good. And you get people that are very regimented, even people that call them perfectionists. They're very regimented. You better not interrupt their schedule, their sleep schedule, their eating schedule, or they are like Nazis compared to the average person. You can't throw a wrench in their will. And those very same people will always throw a wrench in your will. They're selfish. They are narcissists. They are self-focused. They are looking for fulfillment. But the man of purpose is fulfilled by not looking for fulfillment. He's looking who he can fulfill. He's looking who he can help. He's looking at who he or she can feed. She's thinking of what child she can adopt or comfort in an orphanage or hospital or a hospice or a leper hospital. She's giving her life away, not worrying about what she has in her own. And it fills that person with purpose. They are full of purpose. And purpose gives you another thing: need. Do you really feel comforted when you've made a big dinner and somebody walks in after you've made a big, beautiful dinner and go, "Oh, I'm not hungry. I already ate." Oh, okay. The need is gone. What do I need you for? Oh, I already ate. I'm not hungry. And it's all of that work because you didn't do it for yourself. You did it for someone else. I've made many meals for people who didn't show up, and they had no problem not showing up. No problem. There are people that are simply looking to be fulfilled, will always empty you. And the Lord gives us fulfillment, purpose. He took the prostitute off the street in the movie and gave her purpose. She wasn't a street walker anymore. Now, she wasn't a saint, but she wasn't a street walker. He took a blind woman, gave her purpose. He took convicts and criminals and gave them a purpose. When you're doing something more than yourself for someone else, when you're putting your brother above yourself, it's amazing what happens. It is amazing when you're not in the mirror constantly looking at your makeup, or at the gym constantly looking at your biceps. It's amazing when you get your eye off of your own vanity, what more you will do for humanity because you are purposeful.
And salvation really is that way, because salvation really is not about you. It's only about you until you get saved, and given you get a little honeymoon, just kind of get to know Papa, but then it's like, okay, it's no longer about you. Now it's about the next person. Who else can we save? Once you're in the club, you become a part of the club. Now let's go out and save somebody else. And once they get saved, they get their little honeymoon. Every child is celebrated, but then you grow up. And now it's no longer about you, it's about your child. They grow up, it's no longer about them, it's about their child. And it's always about the next person, the next disciple, the next child. The Lord came to this earth to give his life, to lay down his life for his sheep, raised up disciples. Now he said, now go and do what you saw me do. Lay down your life for your brothers and raise up more disciples from all nations. It's this ever-expanding kingdom of selfless love. And selfless means it's not about you. It's about the other person. Now, like Stephen said, there's all kinds of things you can do to fulfill yourself, and there's also all kinds of purposeful things you can do. But there's a difference between doing something purposeful and actually fulfilling your purpose. I know people that volunteer in emergency rooms, my family members, and those things are wonderful. But the people who do that still suffer from depression and all kind of anxiety and stress and taking all kind of antidepressants. And well, it comes to show you. You can do something nice, you can volunteer, give some of your time away, but you're still not fulfilling your purpose for which you were created. And the purpose for which we were created is just like we said, to lay down your life for your friend, a selfless love. Because we were made by God, designed by Him. The game is rigged. The purpose is already written inside of us from the Creator Himself, because that is who He is, and we are created in His image to be like Him. And unless you actually do that, like Mother Teresa, right, and so many other saints, you give up your very existence, your very life for the purpose. The people in the movie, they started off kind of dibbling and wanting to get a deal. And if we do this, we're gonna get our sentence, etc. But they gave their life. It became their purpose. We gotta get those children out of here. And they all, at the end, gave their life for the purpose. Spoiler alert. But that is, and if you watch the movie, and we recommend it, you'll see that at the end of their life, each of those criminals gave their life to the Lord. They all came to the point of repentance and acknowledgement of God. They all died fulfilled and went to be in paradise with the Lord. And at the very beginning of the movie, they were all anti. We hate God, we hate church, we're not chapel people. But as they became more like Him, they started seeing His character manifest in their very life. Their souls were touched. Their hearts were touched. The hearts of stone became hearts of flesh. They fell in love with those leper children that at first they were, get away from me, you leper, I don't want to get sick. Then they were hugging them and kissing them, and they gave their very life for them.
And think about this. What you just said. Why did it take a volcano? Why did it take an explosion? It didn't. Doesn't have to. In that case, it did. Why does it take a tragedy? Why are you waiting to cry over spilt milk and someone after the dam is broke? Why don't you just show up before the dam breaks? Why are you waiting for them to be stranded on the freeway before you say, hey, do you need some new tires? Why are you waiting for the calamity or the catastrophe or the apostasy? Why? Why are you waiting until they're on life support? And why do you wait until the funeral to show up with flowers? Why don't you live with the joy of purpose rather than the misery of guilt and regret after the fact? And cry your eyes out about what you should have done, what you could have done, what you would have done, what you didn't do. You don't have to wait. You could hold that leper now, not after the volcano blows, and then recognize you can take that risk now. And the world tells you to do the opposite. Simon the Cyrene, from Cyrene, picked up the cross. He was a black man. Yeshua stumbled, he picked up the cross. Now, some accounts say that the Romans commanded him to do it. He was some sort of slave. Hey, pick up his cross. Or rather, he was commanded to do it, or rather, he did it on his own. He picked up the cross, just like Charlie in the movie. Picked up that wooden beam, carried part of the cross of Christ. Bear ye one another's burdens. Whosoever cometh after me, let him pick up his cross, carry my cross. And Simon, from Cyrene represented, pick up the cross. It's going to hurt to help that person, to visit that person, to rescue that person. It's going to hurt the back because that's what they're carrying. It may cost you some strength, some muscle, some resources, some time, a sacrifice, but that's the beauty of it. And every woman goes through that before childbirth, what she sacrifices in the vanity of her body changing and in the pain to bring forth a child. The most beautiful thing that you can do is the most helpful thing you could do will cost you. It'll cost you some blood. It'll cost you some money. It'll cost you some muscle. It'll cost you some time. It'll cost you some stress, but it's a good stress. To produce a spiritual rest, a rest from the troubles of this world and the trials of this world. And then you can look at the little misfits of disciples who are not what most people would have chosen, not the noble, prissy people, the ones that are mostly rejected, the ones that aren't so perfect. The ones who usually give the most are the ones that have the less, and the ones that have the most to give barely give anything and give less. Live your life with that purpose till you find, and many of you have found, and you're giving yourselves away. But if you're giving yourself away for the wrong purpose with a hidden agenda, that too will not fulfill you. You can't make that dinner or give that offering or do whatever you do for people or make that visit with a hidden agenda or selfishness. Then you'll lose the blessing. You'll lose the blessing that you should be receiving because you have the wrong intention and motivation why you are there and why you do what you do. As Yeshua said, you're doing it to be seen of men. Therefore, there's no blessing in it. Why would you waste all of that holiness and all of that offering and all of that time when you could be getting a benefit from it just by changing your attitude? But your attitude alone, even though the action may look right, your attitude destroys the benefit of the action because you've got you on your mind. In this time of the year, everybody is so committed to, this holiday season. The most depressing time of the year, right, is holiday season. And more suicides and more depression around the time that everybody is out partying and drinking and buying presents. Why? Because so much of it makes you focus on yourself. You're not really trying to help anybody else, really. And the gift giving that has been so polluted, perverted, and corrupted. And there's an air of expectation. And then what's even worse is you mix something holy with something unholy, expecting it to be holy. You can't mix holy with unholy and expect it to be holy. It's automatically unholy because holy does not mix with anything. Unholy can mix with anything, but holiness does not. It has to be pure. It cannot be mixed. How much does it take for the devil to have you? He's a mistress, by the way. Any part of you. He doesn't need a ring on the finger. He doesn't need a contract. He doesn't need all of you. To have you, he just needs a piece of you. How much of it takes of you for God to have you? All of you. It's all or none of you. Did you know that? You can't get married and give a woman part of you. It's all or none. But you can have an affair and a mistress and give her just the pinky of you because she doesn't need all of you to have all of you. Any piece of you automatically makes her have all of you because she is the affair and the mistress. But the wife will have none of you unless she has all of you. And if any point you do not give her all of you, that's grounds for dismissal and betrayal. It corrupts. Holiness does not compromise. It will not share you. God does not share you. It's all or nothing. And that's holiday season makes you split your attention. You're not thinking of the baby Jesus, the purposeful reason for unto you is born in the city of David, this child. His name shall be called Emmanuel, God amongst us, God with us, being born with a purpose, born to die and live again, that we who are born in sin might live forever and never die. Purpose. It's not Santa Claus, it's not reindeers, it's definitely not a green pine tree with tinsel in your house, which is forbidden in the book of Jeremiah. It's not mistletoe and kissing someone. It's not eggnog. It's not Bing Crosby, have yourself a Merry Christmas. It's not snow on the ground. It's white as snow, though your sins be as scarlet. The Lord does everything with a purpose. It's not arbitrary. It's not to make you feel good, it's to make you good. And to make you good may not make you feel good. All kinds of foods are bitter, but they make you better. All kinds of herbs and vitamins and minerals don't taste good, but they make you good. All kinds of medical procedures will cause you pain, discomfort, but it's to heal you for your future. That's what he means. My plans are not to harm you, but to give you a future. Meaning, what you're going through right now, yeah, it feels like it's harm, and you're feeling the pain, but that's not the purpose of the pain and the harm. That's not the purpose of that bitter drink or that bitter pill you had to swallow or that needle in your arm or that surgery. The purpose is to make you better forever. To eradicate that problem might cost a little pain to get rid of it. And sometimes it doesn't make sense when you have a need financially to be giving more than what your need is. It doesn't make sense when you are desperate for love to give more love away than love you're looking to receive. Doesn't make sense when you tell God you have no time, where you cut the time in the other area to give God more time, to increase your time. Purpose. But so many of you have already decided how to be fulfilled. And it does help, doesn't it? That bottle, that exciting hobby you have, that whatever you do. The Bible says those things do bring joy and pleasure for a moment. But then after that, you've got to take an upper. You're going back and forth from downers and uppers because nothing's giving you a steady, static mood. You're up and down because you're living on things that spike rather than living on the things that the Spirit within you likes and needs. You won't have the spikes. You won't have the ups and downs. You'll have the consistency. You'll have the stability, the stasis state of mind that in spirit that comes from the Lord and purpose.
So this holiday season, why don't you actually celebrate with purpose? Here's my suggestion. Of course, you're going to do whatever you want to do. But I would say you want to give gifts? Wonderful. Why don't you buy some real essential things and drive around, find the poor and the homeless and the sick and the hungry and give it to them. And when your family shows up, don't give them anything. They already got enough. If they have a house, they have food. Why would you spend money on people that have? Why would you feed the rich and let the poor starve? Go and volunteer. Tell them, I'm not coming for dinner. I'm going to the shelter. I'm going to the hospital to be with some old person who's dying alone because their family is too busy celebrating Christmas at home.
And I would suggest even something even first before that. Because why do you have to go and look? Open up your phone book and look who already is in your life that needs your visit that needs your help. Why do you have to go look? You don't. Most people say when you're looking for love, it's been underneath your nose the whole time. You know, in the Torah, it always starts, what's that expression? Charity begins at home. You always see people in the Christian world talking about what they're doing in Africa, what they're doing in Haiti, always someplace over there, over here, Mexico. What about in your own neighborhood? Forget your own neighborhood. What about in your own house? What about the people in your own life that you've done that to? And some of them might be a family member or a friend, someone you already know. I don't believe there's any shortage of any of you having knowledge of people that you know that need help. Why don't you start there? Because that's where it would count most. It's where you already know. Start where you're at. That's the whole point of taking the log out of your eye before you're looking at someone else with a splinter in theirs. Start where you're at. And as Guy says, if you don't, nobody in your family has a need, and all of your friends are doing well, well, then get in the car and go down the street. If you don't know anyone who's not doing well, who couldn't use a helping hand, then find someone. And if you already are aware of those things and you don't care, isn't that the real issue? If you already have people like that and you're not doing it, going down the street to the homeless guy on the street won't help you become more altruistic and charitable, by the way. Because the Lord would never tell you to ignore what's in front of you, to go someplace and find somebody who's not in front of you. That wouldn't make sense either, would it? Now we know that now it becomes another level of false charity. I love how people help. Many people have said no to the people that they know. And some stranger comes up and it's yes, because you have this sense of, I've done something. But how can you have done something when you've already ignored something? And many people do that. We talked the other day about many of our Jewish brethren. Why are you going to India for? Chanting in their temples. You're Jewish. Don't you have your own synagogue? Don't you have your Torah? What are you reading Veda, Hinduists for? I don't see the Hindu reading Torah, running to Jerusalem, but there's so many Jews that are running to India. Do you hate yourself? You hate your own God? You hate your own people that need help? That you got to find somebody that you don't know that needs help? What's wrong with you? Be faithful where you're at and be faithful to who you know now. Because that's the testimony, not someone you just met on the street. When the people that know you say, oh, kind, he's not kind to me. He's not kind to, I've known him for years. He's never done it. Listen, guys, don't become that person. Be faithful where you're at to who knows you most, who can hold you accountable, to those that can vouch for you. And that's the mitzvahs, the true religion, but justice and mercy. James talked about it. He didn't say true religion was quoting scripture and singing gospel songs. The widow, the orphan, how could your brother, your sister, we say brother a lot because we're a band, that's how we talk, but in English and most languages, all mankind, that includes the sisters, the women as well. We've got mankind. We don't say womankind, we say mankind because the man is in the word woman, but the woe is not in the word man. So we don't say womankind. We say mankind. We all are under that edict, sister to sister, brother to brother, and each other to each other. The camaraderie and the community that God has put amongst us. That's why it tells men to mentor men. It doesn't say mentor women. Women to mentor women. Care first for your kind, for your species, for your particular gender group. Care for your group, your ethnicity, your tribe, your race. Yes, that's where it all starts. Can't say you care for that race, you don't even care for your own. You care for that gender, you don't care for your own. You care for the neighbor's kids, you don't care for your own. You want to adopt and save dogs and cats, but you want to abort your own babies. That doesn't make sense, does it? So you have to be consistent. Be consistent. That too is purposeful.
So remember, Doing something purposeful is the first step. Living a life of purpose is the next one, and is where all of us should get. A bad person can do a good thing, doesn't make him a good person. And a good person can do a bad thing, doesn't make him a bad person. You can feed the homeless on Christmas, but what do you do the rest of the year? Yeshua said, the poor you will have with you always. That way you'll always have somebody to feed. You'll always have something to do. You'll always have purpose. The mitzvot, the Torah, the commandments. So that you always have a purpose. There's always somebody to care for. It's by design. Why do people suffer? So that you can do something about it. Not just once or twice, but make it your life's work to be about your kinsman and be your brother's keeper. The goal is to be consistent, purposeful, consistently. So that purpose is not something that you do, it is who you are. And that is when you will truly be fulfilled and fulfill your purpose.